Matt Roloff's world fell apart. The shocking evidence he tried to hide's small man, big world. Matt Roloff's journey is nothing short of a remarkable story that once inspired millions of viewers around the globe. Born in 1961 with dystrophic dysplasia, a rare form of dwarfism, Matt entered the world facing challenges that would have crushed the spirits of many. Yet instead of letting his condition define him, Matt chose to create a life filled with determination, creativity, and ambition. From a young age, he battled not only physical limitations but also the social stigma attached to being different. Multiple surgeries in his youth left him with scars, both physical and emotional. Still, he never allowed these challenges to stop him from envisioning something bigger for his future. That drive would eventually build the Roloff legacy. In the 1980s, Matt met Amy Knight, a woman who shared the same diagnosis of dwarfism but carried her own unique story. The two married in 1987, and together they dreamed of a family life that broke barriers and defied expectations. The couple welcomed 4 children: Jeremy, Zach, Molly, and Jacob. And while only Zach inherited dwarfism, the family quickly became a symbol of strength and diversity. Perhaps Matt's boldest move was purchasing a 34-acre piece of land in Oregon, which he transformed into Roloff Farms. What began as a modest property grew into a world-famous attraction complete with pumpkin patches, castles, pirate ships, and elaborate seasonal events that drew thousands of visitors each year. For Matt, Roloff Farms was more than a business. It was a sanctuary and a physical symbol of his determination to create a life of abundance, not limitation. That vision caught the eye of TLC producers, who launched Little People, Big World in 2006. The series followed the daily lives of the Roloffs, capturing everything from family milestones to farm struggles. Fans were drawn to Matt's charisma, his humor, and his relentless drive to make the farm bigger and better. For years, viewers saw him as the glue that held the Roloff family together, even as challenges mounted. Matt embodied the role of a dreamer who refused to let his condition stop him from building castles, both literally and metaphorically. He was admired as the small man with big dreams, and for a time, it seemed like nothing could break his momentum. The world saw him as a patriarch whose life, though imperfect, represented perseverance and triumph against the odds. But as fans would soon learn, the empire he built on love, family, and hard work was more fragile than it appeared. Behind the cameras, cracks were beginning to form. Cracks that, over time, would shatter the carefully crafted image of unity. For years, Matt Roloff seemed unstoppable. With a thriving farm, a hit TLC show, and a picture-perfect family, he projected the image of a man who had overcome every obstacle in his path. Yet beneath the glossy veneer of television success, personal and family struggles were simmering. Eventually, those struggles would spill over, altering the course of the Roloff story forever. One of the earliest and most public fractures came with the end of Matt and Amy's marriage. Viewers had watched the couple grow together, raise 4 children, and build a farm that symbolized both hard work and love. But by the mid-2010s, tensions between the two became increasingly obvious. The show documented their disagreements over finances, parenting, and the direction of the farm. Matt was ambitious and constantly wanted to expand, build new attractions, take bigger risks, and pursue grander visions. Amy, more cautious and grounded, often clashed with his approach. The tension escalated, and what was once playful banter turned into sharp exchanges. By 2015, the inevitable happened. Matt and Amy announced their divorce. For fans who had seen them as the heart of Little People, Big World, the news was devastating. For Matt, the divorce was not just a personal loss but also the beginning of a series of fractures that would ripple through his family and his public life. The fallout from the divorce didn't end with Matt and Amy. It extended to their children, especially Zach, the only Roloff sibling who shares his father's condition. The most painful wedge came over Roloff Farms. As Matt grew older, questions about the farm's future became urgent. Many fans assumed Zach, with his deep involvement in the pumpkin patch and farm events, would take over. But negotiations between father and son reportedly collapsed, leaving Zach feeling betrayed. Jeremy, Zach's twin, also expressed interest in buying part of the farm but was similarly turned down. The decision stunned viewers, who had believed for years that the farm would remain in family hands. Instead, Matt hinted at possibly selling to outsiders, a move that his children saw as a rejection of their legacy. The once close father-son dynamic soured. In public, Zach described the conversations as difficult and extremely tough. Fans began to notice the growing silence between Matt and some of his children, with fewer family photos and fewer interactions captured on social media. The farm wasn't just a business, it was the family's identity. So when negotiations fell apart, the sense of betrayal ran deep. Fans speculated about money being at the heart of the disagreements. Some critics accused Matt of inflating the farm's value, making it nearly impossible for his children to buy in. Others pointed fingers at outside influences, perhaps business advisors, perhaps Karen Chandler, his partner after the divorce, pushing him to treat the farm less like a family heritage and more like a financial asset. Whatever the cause, the damage was done. Trust between Matt and his children fractured, and the once united Roloff clan began to feel like separate camps. While Matt continued to present a strong face on television, the tension was palpable. Episodes of Little People, Big World began to focus less on heartwarming family moments and more on conflicts. Fans who once tuned in for wholesome storytelling now found themselves watching a family struggling to stay together. The cracks were undeniable. What began as minor disagreements had grown into major rifts. The divorce, the farm disputes, and the shifting dynamics left Matt increasingly isolated. Karen had worked at Roloff Farms for over a decade, managing the pumpkin patch and often appearing in the background of episodes. She was well-liked by visitors and seemed to know the ins and outs of the farm better than most. But when her relationship with Matt went public, suspicions arose. Fans questioned the timeline. Had Matt and Karen's relationship started before his divorce from Amy? Though both denied any overlap, the optics were difficult for many viewers to ignore. To critics, it felt as though Karen had stepped into Amy's life, her marriage, and even her role on the farm. The backlash was swift. Loyal viewers who had supported Matt for years now turned on him, accusing him of betraying Amy and disrespecting the family's legacy. Social media became flooded with heated debates. Some defended Matt's right to move on, while others branded Karen as a homewrecker. Amy herself added fuel to the fire. In interviews and on her own social media, she occasionally hinted at feeling blindsided and hurt by how quickly Matt moved on. Though she eventually found love with Chris Merrick, fans couldn't forget the pain etched into her early post-divorce comments. Perhaps the most contentious issue surrounding Karen was her